Hello, everyone. My name is James Axel, and I'm coming to you semi-homemade live on a pile of stuffed animals. I did a card pull, and I did it on Instagram. I did it live. I did it live! And it didn't record. Instagram, what's up with that? Anyway, I'm doing the card reading yet again. Because I really want this to be heard. It's so cool. So the very first card that I pulled is the Eight of Cups. And I'm using the Dolly card. So this is what the card looks like. Let me turn it around this way. This is what the card looks like. Okay. And now I will read it. Let's see, how do I do this? I want to... I don't know. I'm doing it. On the journey to your own personal destiny, dreams and visions that cannot be easily grasped are nevertheless an important part of our inner world. They help our consciousness to expand and our power of discernment to grow. Begin your search now. Like the cups, the moon in the upper left corner stands for spiritual needs. The card encourages you to start your own journey and to keep moving. But it warns you not to become too restless, because then you might hurry past your goal, represented by the village in the background, without even noticing you passed it. The flies depicted on the card thus have a central meaning. They symbolize the automatic nervous system and therefore the tension alternating with relaxation that regulates our biorhythms. Replace nervousness or sluggishness with purposeful action. Go where your heart wants you to go. It is your task to become aware of your inner flow. This is the best remedy against addiction as well as loneliness. It is said that everything flows, but sometimes the inner life is dried up or overflowed and submerged all. Think of your life as a journey. Be like the journeymen of old, who used to travel in order to become masters of their craft. Where do you come from? Where are you headed? Don't force your feelings and inclinations to fit into a preconceived logic. You will find your own destiny in the balance of your own feelings and thoughts. You will discover it at a place where the experience of the flow is the strongest. This is not only a wonderful spiritual experience, it is also a very practical way of dealing with the everyday life. The lazy ones are the clever ones, dealing with everyday life. The person who succeeds in going with the flow exerts relatively little energy and yet achieves the most. Feel and trust your inner flow. Be aware of your own personal rhythm and make it an integral part of your daily life. Feast and fast. There is a time for everything. That's so cool. Next card I pulled is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands. Here's what the card looks like. All right, and now we will read. The Ten of Wands. A fulfilled life. This card shows a heavily burdened figure, warning not to become too weighed down by life. The ghostly face in the upper left corner represents in this context a bad conscience or the always demanding superego. But the card can also be interpreted in a totally different way. Dolly, who often made fun of the Catholic Church, demonstrates in this picture the positive meaning of the Christian symbol of the cross. The burdened figure at the center represents Jesus, who carries the cross and the 10 wands on his shoulder at all the same time. To carry 10 wands means to accept all available energies, all instincts, purposes, and motives. To make a bundle of the 10 wands means nothing less than to accept life with all of its energies and tasks unconditionally and in its totality. This is also the true meaning of the cross. The cross as a symbol is much older than Christianity. Like the circle or the square, it stands for the division and integration of all forces. For example, the 4 points of the compass. The Christian maxim, those who love Jesus should take up his cross and follow him, has the positive meaning of accepting life unconditionally and committing oneself wholeheartedly. Dolly shows this absolute devotion to life in a remarkable manner. The butterflies symbolize transformational power, and viewed this way, the face represents a clear conscience and the vision of a meaningful purpose in life. Throw off your old burdens and wake up to what is actually going on. Only by giving your undivided attention and affection to someone or something will you be able to completely understand him, her, or it. You have to go forward and commit yourself. This way, you will always be a step ahead. Ah, that's so cool. Next card I picked was the Devil. Creative tampering with taboo. The card depicts a hermaphrodite figure with a wild mane, a horned head, and a further horn on one knee, holding a wand or a flute in its hand and bouncing off some kind of pedestal. Two black arms are releasing the figure or grabbing at it. This card appears strange at first glance, but it clearly avoids a stereotypical portrayal of the devil. So we are able to ask, what meaning does the devil have for us today? Each and every human being brings something new into the world, but we have all certain qualities and peculiarities that do not fit into the present framework. I don't know how to say that word right. Every human being continues the story of creation, and therefore is bound eventually to enter the realm of taboo. The Devil card clearly indicates that some kind of taboo has been violated. What was implicit now becomes visible. This can be used to your advantage because you can now take on the task of openly dealing with taboos, affirming meaningful ones, and getting rid of others that are senseless. Don't be put off by the bully. This is your chance to break some old horns. On the one hand, the devil represents a vampire and a real burden and vexation. No wonder we are afraid. Yet this is our opportunity to rid ourselves of the darkness that we have finally recognized for what it is. On the other hand, the devil represents the prodigal son, the part of us that we have always tended to deny and neglect, although we secretly and rightfully long for it. Now is the time to bring the prodigal son home. Once you have shed light onto the darkness, the vampire will turn to dust, and the hidden will take on shape and color as it emerges. Dare to face the unknown and observe it closely until you can decide how much of it to use and what to discard. I wanted more clarification on that, so I pulled another card and I got the Star. Here we go. Take a look at this. It's actually rather beautiful. These cards are amazing. There's a story behind these cards. And I'll share that in one of my podcasts I have coming up, how the Dolly cards almost came to never be. The Star, your personal truth. Personal truth often seems to be like a distant star. It takes a long time to attain. But all of your dreams are focused upon that star. Our personal truth is the fountain of all of our dreams. This source will never dry up. You only have to find it. As the figure on the card shows, take it into your own hands and raise it up high. Hold in high esteem, cherish, and venerate. Once the star lightens up your day as well as your night, then the truth will be revealed in all of its beauty. Sometimes the card warns you of inappropriate brassiness or compromise. The great blue serpent in the sky represents the wonders of creation that you yourself experience. But the card also reminds you to be aware of the pitfalls of the star, namely the star cult. Be careful not to use your own light to put others in the shade. Be equally careful not to neglect your own light by becoming mesmerized by other distant stars. Pitchers and chalices represent emotional needs, desires, and fears. In this sense, the figure holds her emotional needs in her wands, or in her hands. We carry the vessel that we are. An old idea claims that man, as a whole, is but a vessel in the hands of God, a receptacle that is filled and emptied out during the course of a lifetime. This vessel symbolizes the individual's part in the great stream of life. Each life follows its own star. That was quoted by Hermann Hesse. Reveal yourself. Do your part. Do not hide your own beauty, nor be shy about revealing your own truth. Give generously. Do not hide your light under a bushel. However, remember that your star is only a small point in a much larger galaxy of stars. Oh, I love that. I love that. I think it's so great. All right, I'm going to do a reading every single day. And I'm going to post it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and everything like that. And I hope that it helps out other people. If anyone has any questions or if you'd like me to do a reading for you, that is possible. Trust me, I'm one of the best. My name is James Axel, and I'm coming to you semi-homemade live on a pile of stuffed animals.